Hey everyone, welcome to our Valentine's Day Dead Old Lady readings. This is Valentine's Day 2021, but if you're listening to this in the future, just know you're in the right place at the right time, and this is going to give you what you need today. So I'm excited to share and do some readings and hear from you out there as to what might be stirring for you. And this is like a tarot reading, but it's using vintage recipe cards. And if we haven't met, I'm Reverend Lunch Lady, and we will be connecting with the dead old ladies in the cafeteria of love in the sky to get their downloads, their inspirations on the universal laws of love. So I'm psyched you're here. We just got off of a very special ceremony that we do every Valentine's Day where my company donates money to the zoo to support them. And this year was extra important because they were closed all year and they weren't making any money. And so to me, like knowing that the animals, really are reliant on the members and the people coming to the zoo, that it was really special to be able to help them stay afloat. And good news is they're open now, so they can start doing that, but they just opened. So yay, Casey's here. Oh my God, DOL forever. Yay. And Stephanie's here. Oh my gosh. If you're here, say hello. If you're new here, if you've never been to a dead old lady reading, because I know some of you may not have, post in the comments if you've never had a dead old lady reading. Yay, Corey. Okay, super psyched. And so this is really kind of fun because I know when we pull these cards, and it's like, this is Marjorie, by the way. She has not been in the game for a while. She was kind of way back on the shelf and holding some books up, so I hadn't brought her into the cafeteria of love, but she's going to be participating. Anyway, this is just a really unique process because there are thousands of recipes. This is not like, oh, you see this one recipe and it always means this. This is like always new. Oh my gosh, who said I have never had a dead old lady reading? If you posted that just now, will you please share your name in the comments? Because I want to see who that is. So today we get to ask them questions. So I don't have them pre-prepared. I would love to do a general reading for the sort of Valentine's Day, the 2021 love forecast for this week, because I do these every week. Hello, April. Welcome. Super psyched you're here. So, please post your questions. Post your questions. We'll do a general reading so you kind of get an idea of what it's like. And then we will dive in. Okay, so someone says, now that Ricky has met his meerkat, so Ricky died today, the cockroach, I know everything happens for a reason, so I gotta ask the dead old lady, what was the secret in El Paso? Growth takeaway from that relationship. That was then, this is now. Okay. Let's see. We'll play with that. Okay, so let's just jump in with a reading. I want to bring Marjorie up and give her a chance to have a voice. It's been a while. So this is how I shuffle. So any of you out there who've been maybe even you have a love relationship on your vision board and you're like, oh, I really would like to meet the one this year. maybe that's part of your vision. If it is, post in the comments. I want to hear if that's part of your vision. And so then I just kind of go in and just randomly pick out a card. I like to kind of feel around and see which one's vibing with me. And I got a card. I haven't looked yet. Sometimes it's really nerve-wracking. Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. Oh my gosh. Comida Mexicana. How funny is it that we were just with the El Paso Zoo? Not that that's Mexico. It's not, but it's close to the border. So anyway, so Comida Mexicana, this is talking about our forecast. This is a forecast for our love vision this week or longer. Interesting. So we got the sausage, the onion, the green pepper, the rotel, the energy that I'm getting. So immediately the dead old ladies are like lunch ladies in this big kitchen in the cafeteria of love in the sky. By the way, that is the name of my new podcast that's going to be launching sometime in April. Cafeteria of Love. We're going to be talking all things love and relationship. I'll be doing actually live readings. So there'll be live readings, but there'll also be experts. There'll also be really successful women coming in and sharing their experience of finding love. So this is really good. So Comida Mexicana, they are showing me the colorful. They're giving me more of the sense of the culture of Mexico. There's something very colorful and playful and celebratory. So they're really inviting this high vibe energy, this like dance energy, the playful energy, the flowers, the magic of that. And so how does this translate for you in your love story? Well, this is the energy they're asking you to bring into your world. And if it's not feeling like, so I'm seeing people with a lot of people. I know we're in a pandemic. I get that we're not doing big social events, but it is about finding those circles that are really elevating for you. If you're putting yourself into a situation, even like on Match.com or somewhere like that, where you're feeling like, oh, I have to do it this way. If it has that energy of pressure and obligation and it's heavy and not fun for you, then you're probably going to want to change your mindset somehow. Like get a mindset that's going to shift you in a place where you are engaging with things that light you up. So I will be doing actually I haven't named it yet, but it's going to be something like a dating clinic where it'll be a masterclass series where we're going to go through the technology. We're going to go through the how to present yourself. We're going to talk about dating. We're going to talk about mindset. We're going to talk about, how to know who's the right one for you. The things that people ask me all the time, what apps, how do you know what app, why are there so many jerks out there, and like get around that in a way that supports you, because the truth is there really are no jerks and losers. It's just about finding the person who aligns with you. So hello. Yes. El Paso is Texas, not Mexico. So anyway, and it talks about, a little more. They're also showing, whatever you're doing right now, there's probably a little more you can lean into that's going to support you. How many people are sort of giving up or feeling passive or waiting and wishing and not really engaging in the dance? In order to meet someone, it's about doing that. So they're really actually, literally I'm seeing like flamenco dancers and paper flowers everywhere and appetizers and beauty and flirting. And so, You want to be in the dance. You don't want to be like outside of it. So there we go. That's a really cool forecast for people. Yay. Oh, thanks. Love the podcast name. Yay. Awesome. Yes. Oh, someone said New Mexico and then Texas. Yeah, El Paso, Texas, but really close. It's right there. It's right on the edge of Mexico. All right. So let's go up here. All right. Let me see. Question. How do I release my anxiety and self-soothe? I've realized I was pushing for connection to do that for me. Okay, whoever asked that question, is that April or someone else? Do post your name. I'd love to know who that is. How do I release my anxiety and self-soothe? I've realized I was pushing for connection to do that to me. I'm going to use Marjorie again. Because it's interesting when you have that realization. I've realized that I was pushing for connection to do that for me. Like, what do you already know about this that you're not acknowledging right now? So, because it sounds like you have an awareness. Oh, that was from Steph S. Okay, cool. All right. Thanks for. Yes. Okay. Let's see what Marjorie wants to say about that. Ooh, here's a fun one. Oh. Okay. Oh, okay. You got walnut panouche. I'm not really sure how to say that. This is a candy. Oh my goodness. Candy. It's a great Christmas gift. So what's the gift here? Okay. What gift can you be for yourself right now? Walnuts. This is always like when I get like nuts, oftentimes I get this, and right now I'm getting this like foundational thing. So it's like what it is, what can you do that's going to support you. So how do I release my anxiety and self-soothe? One of the things that we need to remember that, this right here, this is like a loaf of sweetness. It's really rich. It's more like, it's almost like a fudge, right? So this is like a very condensed thing. This works both ways. Like if you could never like eat a whole plate of this. These like, you just take a little sliver and you're satisfied. Like, how do you release your anxiety and self-soothe? Is just know that there is an enormous amount of fear available. I mean, fear just happens. But when you can literally remind yourself that I can remind myself that I'm going to be okay. Like that, you have the power to do that. And that's something I do all the time. Like when you can just in that moment go, you know what? I'm okay right now. Like I'm okay right now. Oftentimes the reason why the anxiety gets into this like snowball effect, almost like can you imagine like eating like 5 pieces of this, like, or a tray of this? You just be like, oh, that's what happens. It's like the anxiety, if it's just left running wild, you'll just feel like this paralysis. And it's up to you to say, you know what, I'm just going to have a sliver. I'm aware that there's fear, and I am going to speak to myself, remind myself, remember that I am the most powerful being, and that fear is just out there. And if I can remind myself, I am okay right now. It's looking to the past and getting into the past. We're, feeling bad about the past or worrying about the future that can kind of exacerbate and really like heighten and swoop you into this sort of tornado, the spiral of the fear and anxiety. So, yeah, a connection, it's never coming from that, it's never, and there are connections. Like if you need to use one of your current connections, if you're waiting for a connection that doesn't exist, then obviously then that's not going to be a helpful strategy. But there may be people or meditations or a bath or a walk or nature or something else that works. For me, I like to have those things written down ahead of time, knowing, okay, these are the things I already know work for me. When I move my body, when I do a meditation, when I, call certain friends. Not everybody's going to be the right match for every crisis. So you got to be conscious of, okay, who would be a good person to talk to for this? And do the thing and take action on that. So let me know if that was helpful. And then I'm coming back up to Mandy's question. Sounds like you are asking about, I know you had something with your ex around this. Will you please actually put that into a question, sort of more of a general question? It says, what is the secret in El Paso? That's very specific to that, but I'm wondering yeah, what is there a different way you could word that that's going to be more of a direct question for all of us? It sounds like you're wondering what, well, let's just see what happens when we draw a card. So what was the gift of, what's the gift of letting go of that relationship, maybe? So we're going to go with Tina. Here's Tina. New people who haven't been here, meet Tina. Tina is adorable. She's got a lot of different herbs all around her. Okay, that's cool. So what is your next kind of growth takeaway to move forward in love? I love that. Anyone else kind of wanting to know, what is your next level growth in this moment? Oftentimes it's amazing how there's kind of universal things floating around. So let's see what Tina has to say. Ooh, I'm going to pick this. I don't know what this is. But it's, okay, so it's a big chunk of newspaper and Tina's thing. And I love this because look at this image of two people coming together and holding this lovely thing. Okay. So it turns out that was a tennis racket when you open it up more. Okay, this is an article. It says, give up on summer menus, bring out the bean pot, sturdy brown bread. Okay, I love this. Give up the summer, which is really funny. You just got to look. Okay, they're showing me. Okay, summer has passed. We are now in winter, unless you're on the other side of the planet, and then it's reversed. But for us, what they're showing me is that's in the past. That was last season. That was last season. That relationship was last season. So any of you out there who are aware of a relationship from the past that's kind of interrupting the present, although if you participated in the cockroach thing, that's irrelevant now. But so I would consider that too, because I know Ricky was definitely gobbled up. I was there. So giving up on the past, Bring out the bean pot and sturdy brown bread. So this is like, what is that? Like really wholesome, lasting, nurturing space for you to be in and to create. There are so many recipes here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different recipes on this page. We've got the tamale pie, we've got the brown bread, we've got the baked beans, we've got the split pea soup. Okay, so maybe that's all the recipes, but that's still a lot. So they're showing me there's a lot of opportunity available. The way they're showing it to me is actually in different circles. So it's not specific people as much as different communities. So it's kind of along the lines of the initial reading. So they're really wanting to stress, apparently, this community thing. They're showing, there's people are meeting people everywhere now. I mean, there's like Facebook connections, there's apps, there's Clubhouse, there's, meetups online. There are a lot of different things, but if you're not stepping into those circles, then you don't have the opportunity to connect. There's not just one way, but it does take meeting people to meet someone. So it sounds like they really want to say, go to those really, those spaces out there that you know of. Yeah, so Corey said she wanted to know that too. So really anywhere where you're kind of limiting it to just like Bumble, that's one thing. There's a lot of other things available for you. And if you're finding that you're not making the choice to engage with different communities, then, what is that's holding you back? Maybe that would be, maybe you want to join us in the next 30-day experience. If you're not already planning to do that, what is on my thing? Okay, there. You could also message me if you're interested in the deeper dive dating masterclass, because I'd like to do that, and I'm putting it together now. So, and certainly one-on-one coaching is always really helpful to really accelerate the process and get one-on-one support. Okay, so who's up next? Do we have any other questions? I know that we've been on here for a long time because of the cockroach event. I'm going to give it a minute and see if there's any other questions. There's a lot of you out there. Who's out there? Say hello. Was that helpful for you? How many of you are kind of wanting to meet someone, but you're not on an app? I really get that there's a lot of people out there that are wanting to have that relationship, but they're scared to put themselves out there, or that they've decided that this isn't the time. We can't meet people. We can't do it. Well, can you please let that go? Because that is not true. What I'm seeing, the data and trends that are showing up, there are more and more people moving online. That's why these new things are popping up all over the place. Amazing new spaces. Clubhouse is an interesting example. If you haven't heard of that, it's an app where it's all audio and there's different groups, and there's a lot of different singles groups there. The only downside of that I see is that there's no way of sorting by location, but there's multiple apps. I mean, I do recommend people try more than one. Like, try a couple different things. If you want a serious relationship, I do believe the apps and the sites that allow you to share more, like Match.com, or some of the ones that started as sites like OkCupid, where you can write a little more. I do think for the people who tend to come to my classes and want a relationship, you're looking for something more meaningful and soulful. And that is, just the nature of it, the nature of being able to write more about what you want and paint a picture, versus like a Bumble where you have a couple sentences and everything is based on pictures. Also noticing the quality, like Bumble, men are reaching out women are the initiators. So that's going to have a certain vibe to it for the men, because the men are going to be the kinds of men that are, open to that. I know so many women that I talk to are wanting the man to initiate. They want that feeling. So, if that's really something that matters to you, then I probably wouldn't pick Bumble. I would pick something else. And at the same time, I still encourage people to be proactive and engage and flirty online, so that you're not just waiting around for a guy. Okay, who else has a question? Any other questions, or are we done? How's that landing? Or are people having any ahas? Is this helpful? I see quite a few of you out there. I'm just going to read another one and then we can wrap up. This is Abigail. I love Abigail because she has this lobster on her. We'll just see what she has to say. Yeah, so that might have been Mandy's community outreach, missing that mix and mingle. I totally get that we're missing it the way it was. Right now it's just different. And my sense is that a lot of these things aren't going to go back to what it was. Like, the world has changed. So it's, an opportunity, or kind of important to just be present with this and lean in. Okay, here's a long one. Okay, let me read this one. So we got Southern spicy gingerbread. And it's on this card. This is really beautiful. Look at all that space. So I already know that we're talking about expansion and space of possibility, but they're saying Southern spicy gingerbread. So just not limiting yourself to one space. Once again, oh my gosh. And it says, okay, getting this one, they're talking about getting out. They're giving me this sense of sort of like shame and frustration, but more of like an inner anger thing. And that they're feeling the heaviness of that, actually. Yeah, and there's a lot of molasses in here. A lot. Okay, so they're just reminding us that, like, if your mind is telling you sad stories or going into that scarcity mode, that you are bringing yourself out of being able to see possibilities. So, like, look at this. So they're showing me this space. They're showing me this space where, if you're in a space of possibility, you would be able to see a whole bunch of different items on a list. You'd be able to see a lot of things. Right now, like, when you fall into the, oh, I can't have this. It's not happening. Oh, I do it wrong. I'm doing it wrong. Falling into that negativity, that it will keep you from seeing anything else. So that's actually a lovely little reminder. Okay, so let's dive into this one, and then I think we're going to wrap up. I recently left a 2.5-year relationship. We were in love. However, I let a lot of red flags go. Now I am dating with the help of a matchmaking group in town. So far, they have matched me with 2 people who were not good fits at all. This week, I asked a guy out through Facebook. I used the dating app several years ago. I was hoping not to use those again. I feel this is the year to meet my true match. Do you have any favorite ways to meet people right now? How can I call in my, and then I'm thinking it says great match or something. Well, yeah, I do. I mean, I would say when you're doing those things that you really like when you're engaging in the activities, the communities that align with who you are, it's really going to be important. If a matchmaking company is working for you and well, that's a whole nother story. I'm not going to go there. Anyway, do I have any favorite ways to meet people? I say every way is a favorite. I mean, because it's really personal. You have to find the things that work for you. If you're hating online dating, though, if you're hating, using these tools, then typically there's something underneath that. Typically there's something that is making that so. And nobody can match you better than you, ultimately. I mean, people can find people that are as aligned as possible, but that the frequency part, if there's a frequency of and you're not aware of that, then all of these tools are going to feel crappy. They just will. And the online tools kind of magnify the insecurities. And so, when you are really aligning in your life and you're really living your life in love and you have things going on, then this isn't as painful. And it does take having some strategies. So you might be a really good candidate for the dating clinic, because there are strategies that can help you be more efficient in the way you date, to be able to have the tools so you're not getting sucked in emotionally, and then sort of conveniently not seeing red flags. So there's huge energetics in here. I mean, everything is frequency. It's more common now that we're talking about this in the world. I have a Healy device that's all about frequency, law of attraction, all of these tools, but it's also showing up for you. So hopefully that helps. I mean, your favorite way to meet people right now are, you being able to be creative and aware and honoring and listening to you and about you. Then you'll know. Because dating apps this year are incredible. I've had so many people meet amazing people on dating apps this year, because people who would never use them before are using them now. Okay. Was that helpful? Anyone else get any help from the other questions? Cool. Awesome. So glad you're here. All right, everyone. I am going to sign out, and let's do this again, shall we? Be looking out for posts, because some new things are coming. Yes, exactly. That's great to hear. It is great to hear. It's amazing. It's so great. Okay, so stick around, or just keep your eyes open for invitations. If you're interested in the upcoming dating masterclass series or the next 30-day series where I do a daily a daily teaching or offer a daily tool or practice, I'm pretty sure it's going to be about receiving and standing in your personal power. That's going to be starting in a couple weeks. Those of you who are already super loved women, you're already part of Super Loved, then you automatically get those classes as part of your program. And any of you who are interested in talking about Super Loved, where you get one-on-one support so that you can go from single to love, let me know and we can have a conversation. So thanks everyone for being here. See you really soon. Bye.